Hey guys, welcome to a special episode I'm doing. I'm just doing the Sigma battle in X1 with no heart tanks, sub-tanks, or armor upgrades, excluding the required arm grade, and taking no damage. First, whenever you start fighting Sigma's dog, this is really the biggest pain. He's harder than either of Sigma's forms to perfect, in my opinion, because it seems that a lot of times he fires random amounts of fire, and if he fires two, then you can dodge them without the leg part. But more than that, and it's literally impossible to dodge. But another thing that kind of makes him a little difficult compared to the other bosses is that sometimes you don't know when he's going to stop jumping. So it's kind of hard to know when you want to drop down, because sometimes he'll drop down right into you, and then there goes your perfect. So, and of course, since I don't have the armor or any heart tanks, I pretty much have to perfect this anyways, because I'll die in 2 hits from anything. So, but once you get past him, it's really it gets a lot easier. Especially Sigma's first form, it's a joke. Really, as long as you can climb the wall and charge up your buster and aim it in a direction, you can kill Sigma without taking a hit. Because basically you just climb up to that corner, just stay up there, he'll climb up, drop down and fire, and just repeat, and he will eventually die. Takes a while, yes, but he will eventually die. There's not really much strategy to this one. I mean, it's pretty simple, but the dog is definitely a lot harder and more erratic in his movements, which is another reason why it's such a pain to perfect. But Sigma's third form does require quite a bit of strategy to beat without any of the armor or anything, because there are some moves that his second form normally does that you can dodge with the dash boots, but since I don't have those, that's obviously not possible. So, but I'll show you what you need to do once you get there. It's actually it works really well. It's just a matter of hoping you finish off Sigma in time. But honestly, this battle's pretty boring if you ask me. I honestly wouldn't even blame you if you just skip to the second form, which is I don't know, around 4 minutes or so. But yeah, this one really just doesn't have anything to it. It's honestly a pretty disappointing battle. I would like to have had a battle that was a little more challenging for a perfect, but hey. But I've always thought it was weird that he wields a saber in this one, and then Zero ended up wielding a saber in the later games. It's like an odd concept that they kind of just switched that out. I'm not really sure why that happened, but I always thought that this game was probably one of the best in the series, but the AI in this game is really good, other than, I would say, Sigma himself, which has always kind of bothered me. Like, Sigma's second form knows what he's doing, but this form is just a moron. I mean, look at him. He just jumps up there over and over. It's like he doesn't know what else to do. He's just like, oh, X is up in the corner, guess I better go climb up there with him. And then he just gets shot, and then he has to wall climb back down? That doesn't even make sense. But, I don't know. This boss battle has always just bugged the crap out of me. Capcom seemed really lazy with it, in my opinion. But the dog is a lot challenging, more challenging than this one, and the second form is pretty. I was definitely content with it too. It's just that first Sigma form that's really bothersome. Now this one's a pain. What you're going to want to do here is basically switch to your rolling shield, because if you don't have a charge, you might as well, because the rolling shield does the same damage as a full charge shot. And I was a moron that time and didn't use my own strategy. But once you fire, switch to Sting Chameleon's weapon and charge on your way down. And then if Sigma's eyes flash, that means he's about to do one of the moves that he usually does with the dragon head. And if he does the fire move, you can dodge it as X, but it's still kind of risky. I still would recommend using Sting Chameleon's charge anyways. But if he uses the electrical orb, as far as I'm aware, it's not possible to dodge that without the dash boots. So what I always do is I charge on the way down with Stinkamillion's weapon, and if a hand comes over, then jump onto it, and instead of unleashing Stinkamillion's weapon, use it for a charged X-Buster shot, because if you try and use a rolling shield, of course it'll activate the shield around you, which does you no good, basically. So, but it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. The only real problem is hoping you do enough damage in time before your Stinkamillion weapon runs out, because if that runs out, then you just have to hope to God that he doesn't use the electrical orb attack, which, you know, relying on luck is never a very good experience. But once you get towards the end and you start running low on Stinkamillion's weapon, it gets a little nerve-wracking though. I myself got pretty nervous at one point in this battle, because one of the hands came awfully close to damaging me, and you'll see it because I kind of flip out a bit and my hands got really trigger happy, I guess, and I accidentally selected the tornado weapon, just out of my hands were just kind of panicking because I was like, oh crap. But yeah, this battle takes a while doing it this way, but it's definitely a strategy I would recommend. Even if you have the armor, this is a good strategy if you want to beat Sigma pretty easily. It's pretty foolproof once you get the hang of it. I did this one first try, so it's definitely one of the easier perfections to do. But yeah, really the only thing you need to watch out for are the attacks that he does with his head. And as long as you're watching his face while you're charging as you drop, you'll know if he's going to use them, so you have time to react with Stinkamillion's weapon. But which is kind of cheap in my opinion. That weapon's really overpowered. I mean, it gives you temporary invincibility. I mean, it is temporary, but it lasts quite a while. And this weapon's also really good for in the tower in the first Sigma stage, right after Zero dies and right before you fight Boomer Kuwanger. This weapon works really well for making your way up that tower, because you don't have to worry about all the enemies, which is a nice bonus. But it's also a good way to make it through Armored Armadillo's stage without taking damage whenever you're trying to get the Hadouken Fireball, which isn't really too hard even without the weapon, but I just do it to make things easier. But yeah, overall the game has a lot of unique weapons in this one. I really like the weapon set in this one, besides the fact that Stinkamillion's weapon can be a little cheap. But I don't know, X2 and 3, there were a few good notable weapons, like the charged fire weapon in X2 is one of my favorites, but X3 was kind of lazy with the special weapons, I believe. And right here is where I ran out of Stinkamillion's weapons, so I was just really thankful that he dropped that second hand down instead. That could have been the end of a perfect with 2 pieces of health left on his health bar. Man, I would have been ticked. This video would probably not exist right now if that had happened, because I doubt I would have redone it anytime soon. So, but I would show you guys what happens at the end if you don't have the dash boots when you beat it, but I already did a video for that, so no reason to. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, added in a little bonus footage here. I found a method of defeating Sigma with no damage without the leg without using special weaponry. So I figured I'd tack this on here just so you guys could see what you need to do. Pretty much, if you stand on the very edge of that hand, you won't get damaged by the lightning or any of Sigma's head's attacks. And you can stay up there for a good amount of the time, but every once in a while the hand will come from the other side and you'll have to jump off. But if you're lucky, you can get back on without getting damaged. But sometimes it's really worth it just to drop down and come back in the next time the hand drops down. But the hardest part is if you are on the ground. That electrical orb tag there is very difficult to dodge. The way I do it is once the orb that fires straight down once the bottom of the orb is about touching that door that we came in at in the beginning of the Sigma battle, that's whenever you want to start moving towards where he's firing from, and you'll just barely dodge them. But it's tough to do, takes a lot of practice, and it's definitely not something you want to try through your first run through. I would really recommend doing the special weapons method, your first perfect on him. But I don't know, sometimes you may get lucky and he may let you just stay on his hand the whole time. That hasn't happened for me, but I mean, it's not to say it's not possible. But sometimes that hand can come over a little too low, and so you'll notice that if you try to jump to get out of the way of the lightning of the hand you were standing on, then you'll get injured. So just walk off in these cases. I mean, it may seem like it's a pain to get back up, like right there, but trust me, you want to do that, because otherwise you will get damaged. And sometimes there really is no way around it. Sometimes it is literally impossible to not get damaged, but there are a lot of instances where you will be able to escape, actually. But it's all luck, really, when it comes down to it. Especially that electrical orb attack. It is just, he fires it so quickly, and it's so much easier if you have the dash boots, but doing it this method is just, it's a pain, to say the least. This, I don't know, this is probably my 10th or 11th attempt at this before I finally got it perfect, and I did the special weapons method first try, so it takes a lot of practice. But yeah, as long as you can master that dodging the electrical orbs down below, you should be fine, as long as you watch for where the hands are coming from and where they're going, and pay attention to recognize when you need to drop down or when you need to stay on top. That's really the whole difference in this battle. Just paying attention to what's going on and making sure you correct for the right move. But other than that, good luck.